Hey everyone, so in today's video, I've decided that I wanted to go over the Texas Manicurist License Examination Candidate Information Bulletin from PSI. I'm going to be going over some of the information that is on this packet. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming or not quite sure, knowing exactly what is it that you're looking at or what you're looking for as a new student. So I hope this is helpful to someone out there. And well, let's not waste any time. Let's just go straight into it. So this one that you see right now was actually updated on 12/9/2020. They usually have the date there at the bottom. So if you're currently in school and you have one that is a lot older than the December of 2020, make sure that you go on the website and download the latest one. Again, this is for the Manicurist license examination. Now, they usually put any revised content information on the front page. So as you guys can see, it says revised content outline effective April 1st of 2021. The examination will reflect the content outline that's on page 10. Okay, so what they did was they are updating the reference. So effective September 1st of 2021, the examination will be written, okay, to the written My Lady's Standard Nail Technology book 2021. So there is a new nail book out there, you guys. So I do have it. I do want to show it to you. Now, if you currently have the older book, do not panic, okay? Because it is clearly stating that all the tests, okay? So if you are in school now and you'll be graduating soon, your book is still good. So that is still the references that they are going to be using. But if you are graduating on September 1st or taking your test after September 1st of 2021, they are going to be using the reference for the new My Lady Standard Nail Technology book 2021. And I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. I'll just go ahead and show you. Voila, there it is. This is what the new nail book looks like. Isn't it beautiful? I'm in love with the cover of the book. I think it's so nice. And again, this the format reminds me of our aesthetic book. But anyways, you guys, I'm not going to go into detail as to what the difference is between the current book and the new book. I would just have to maybe save that for another video. But I just wanted to let you know that yes, there is a new 2021 nail technology book, and this is what it looks like. And not only do you have one, but you actually will have two. This is the foundations book, which actually, I believe what they're doing is that this black foundation standard book will be used for cosmetology, aesthetics. It's already being used in aesthetics, and of course now with nails. This book has your infection control, your public health safety, what else? Electricity, your chemistry chapters, all of that is now in this foundations standard book from My Lady versus everything being in one book. So they did separate a lot of the information. All right, so let's keep going. So on your second page, it's going over the cost of your test, okay? So your written exam, it's $50. Now we call it a written test, but it's actually a computer test. It is a multiple choice, and I'll go over how many questions and the time that they give you. So on the following pages, it's going over the different languages that this test is offered in. Of course, your most common ones are going to be English, Spanish, and Vietnamese, okay? Different locations where you can take your test, of course, if you are in Texas. This is for Texas, okay? The requirements, I go over this when I in my practical videos. The day of your test, whether you're doing the practical or the written exam, you guys, you have to go and show up, of course, with your ID or driver's license and make sure that it's not expired. And of course, it's giving you additional information over the requirements when you show up to the reporting examination site. And all of that can be found on page 8. All right. On page 10, this is where it's going over the content outline of what is expected on your written exam. I'm going to try to zoom in as best as I can so that you guys have better visibility. Okay, so your written exam, it's 60 questions. They give you 90 minutes, so yes, it is a time test. You need a 70 to pass. And yes, like I always say, yes, you can fail with a 69, okay? You need a 70 to pass. You will be answering 6 non-scored items, okay? So it'll be 66 questions, but 6 of those are going to be questions that are, I believe they're over like US history, so they're not going to be questions over nails. So even if you do happen to get those questions wrong, you will not be, they will not go against you, okay? So effective through 3/31/21, they want you to still use this outline, okay? So what does that mean? So if you plan or if you will be starting school after March 31st, 2021, you should be now focusing on this outline, okay, versus this one. If you're doing nails, it's 600 hours and you're looking roughly at about 5 months in school. So if you start focusing on this content outline that is effective on April the 1st, you will most likely be taking the new test using the new textbook. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if you are starting school, for example, in January, February, or even March, you should be graduated, okay? You should be licensed or at least have taken that written exam before September 1st of 2021. So I hope, again, I keep saying the same thing, but I hope I'm not confusing you, okay? So don't freak out, don't panic over the fact that now there is a new book. Again, if you will be starting school April 1st of 2021, you should be using, or you should be considering using the new textbook, okay? Because most likely your test will be based on the new 2021 nail book, okay? So let's go over some of this information. So licensing and regulations, you get 9 questions. You guys know that that book is going to be mailed to your home address. Usually it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks after your school enrolls you with the state, and that book is usually mailed to you. So when it comes in the mail, remember, you have to save it. 9 questions come out of that book that will be on your state exam. Infection control, 15 questions. That includes cleaning and disinfecting, implements, equipment, your work environment, safety procedures, exposure incidents, skin analysis, diseases and disorders, nail analysis, diseases and disorders as well for the nails. And then we have nail structure and analysis, 12 questions over anatomy, physiology. Then we have 24 questions over nail care. That's including your manicuring, your pedicuring, your nail enhancement, which include acrylic, gel, tips, maintenance, equipment, implements, massage and manipulations, and obviously your products, okay? Again, this is what you would focus on your textbook, okay? And like I said, this is the one that will go into effect April 1st. So the first thing that I noticed is that they obviously did increase the number of questions for the licensing and regulations. It went from 9 to 12 questions, okay? Infection control, they added 5 more questions. So it's going to be, again, effective April 1st, 20 questions versus 15. Nail structure and analysis, 3 questions. Nail care, 25 questions. So again, give and take, it's still a 60 question test, but they just removed some from a certain subject and added it to a different one. Okay, again, here is your reference list at the bottom. And as you guys can see, it says the reference materials listed below are used to prepare the questions for this examination. My Lady Standard Nail Technology 7th edition, which was 2015 one. I actually do have that book, but I do not have it right this second. And then of course, starting effective September 1st, it'll be the 8th edition 2021, which is again this one that you are seeing right now. And then of course your law and rule book. Okay, so again, all of this is very important. So if this is your first time listening to this or hearing this information, then please make sure that you are saving this packet, that you have the latest one, and that you save it. And of course, what I tell my students is by the time you graduate, if there's any changes that were made to the candidate information bulletin, I will provide the latest version of the test. Okay. All right. So again, it's a computer test. It's a multiple choice. They usually tell you right after you are done with a test whether you pass or if you did not pass. If you happen to not pass your exam, you can reschedule. Of course, you can go as many times as you need, but yes, you do have to pay each time. Again, it's $50 for the written test, okay? On page 11, it is going over practical examinations, rules. For example, again, I have that video out. If you have not watched it, you can go and review it, go over it. I believe it's very helpful. So for example, I'm not going to read all of these, but again, no trainer hands for nail procedure. They're not allowed. What else? The proctor will be monitoring the time during the examination. Again, your practical exam is also a time test. They expect you to know what to do when you get there, okay? Everything that you'll be using for that test must be orderless. So your monomer and your primer must be low order or orderless, and it must be labeled by the manufacturer. So let's say it's not orderless and you decide to make your own label and put it on the product. That is not allowed. They will check to make sure that it is the appropriate product being used. Of course, no cheat sheets, any type of written notes. You're not allowed to walk in the building with any type of material, your books, for example, this packet. Don't go in there with anything. Just, again, both for the written, you don't need to take anything with you. Again, leave your cell phone in the car. Don't take it with you. Just make sure you have your ID or driver's license. That's pretty much it. For the practical, all you need is, again, your ID or driver's license and your practical state board kit. That is it. Again, you can find all these details on page 11. Okay. On page 12, it is going over some of the items and supplies and equipment that they want you to either not have labeled and the ones that need to be labeled in English only. One other thing that I want to point out is please do not label your bags. And what I mean by label is don't number them. Do not number your bags, okay? They consider that cheating, so do not number your bags, okay? So things that you do not need to label will be, for example, your nail files, your buffers, your application brush, any cotton or cotton rounds, your dap and dish, your finger bowl, your nail forms, paper towels, orange wood sticks. And it says here, items listed below are not to be labeled. Doing so may result in loss of points. So make sure you are following the rules, okay? Items that must be labeled in English would be your kit, okay? They want your box to be labeled pre-sanitized or clean or disinfected on top of the box. They do want you to label your blood exposure kit, cuticle oil, cuticle remover, of course your EPA disinfectant, your hand sanitizer, your nail adhesive, your nail dehydrator, okay, and again, your orderless monomer, and your low odor primer for that one nail, okay? And trash bags. All right. And of course, for the practical, they do provide you with a small table and of course a chair. Okay, so on page 13, now this is all the information regarding the practical part of the exam. Again, I have a whole video as to what is inside of your state board kit and another video over what to do step by step as far as these steps, okay? The practical part of the exam. So again, it is a time test. It'll take you roughly about an hour and 21 minutes. And again, on page 13, it has all the steps, okay? From the pre-examination setup and disinfection. That is what you do first. Then you do your manicure. And again, for state board, you guys, they want to make sure that you are performing the steps in the order that they are asking you to. And of course, there's a catch. They do not read you the steps the day of the test. When they say you may begin, they expect you to know what to do, okay? So you'll be doing pre-examination setup and disinfection. You will then do a manicure, followed by a tip application service on only one nail. And you will be doing everything on a mannequin hand. You guys are no longer required to take an actual person with you for your practical. You will also be doing the nail enhancement with a form. And then your blood exposure incident and your end of examination disinfection. Again, it's really not that bad. If you just started school, I'm sure it's overwhelming, but you have to take things one at a time. My advice to you will be to stay focused, complete all your tests, do everything on time, reread your chapters. Going over and reading these chapters only once is not enough. It is absolutely not enough. I promise you that if you go over your infection control chapter, your first or even second week of school, okay, some of that information is going to go right over your head and it may not stick, okay? 3-4 months later, you reread that same chapter. I guarantee everything will make more sense if you have put everything that you have been learning during that time period into practice. I'm a believer that if you don't use it, you lose it, okay? So you have to stay focused. If you have enrolled to become a nail technician, you have to give it your all. I know things happen, life happens, but you must remain focused. Once you are done with your 600 hours, it should be your goal to take your written test right after. Do not wait. If you wait too long, you will forget the information that you had spent, studying, going over during the time that you were in school. Same thing with the practical. Get it done. Study, focus, record yourself, time yourself, okay? Anyways, I can keep going on forever, you guys, about this. I'm very passionate about this industry. Of course, I know a little bit of everything. Nails, I will say nails is not my, the thing that I'm the best at. I know very little about nails, but I'm around students. I've been doing this for a long time, and I love to know the information, help them understand what is it that they're getting themselves into. I am a licensed cosmetologist instructor, so I do hair. My focus is hair, but my main focus is aesthetics, okay? I do teach an aesthetic program, but again, I help everyone that needs assistance, and I love working with students that are just as passionate as me, and they want to get this done, and they want to give it their all, okay? Remember that school is what you make it, and it will not be forever, so just make it work for you. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye, guys.